Let me find out. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Ava, Sister Ava, are they going to pass out any study of number 4 tonight? No? Okay. The reading assignment is the 55th Surah, the Beneficent, right? Is that the Beneficent? The 55th Surah of the Quran, that's the reading. I just want to make a few comments before the minister comes down. I've been traveling, and this was my first study group, and I really enjoyed it. I sat in on 2 sessions upstairs that were very good. And I know we have some brothers and sisters who are out for the first time tonight. But the reading of the Quran and the groups upstairs and the discussion was very good. When they started off with sales, and I must say that you can learn something from each person in terms of how they went about selling their products, from the sisters and brothers, with the instructions that the minister gave last week that they were explaining to me. The brothers were going from the unknown, those that they didn't know, and the sisters were dealing with the known first. And the brothers had the uphill struggle. There's a verse in the Quran, the 90th chapter, called the cities. And it says, those who attempt not the uphill road. And the brothers, everyone in the group upstairs did very well. And one brother mentioned that he went out and he sold the whole kit. So $20. They had to buy the whole thing. But the key is, one brother said that he went to people that he knew had money and they couldn't possibly say no. And but it was very good, and everyone learned from each other. And the beautiful part about a discussion on sales is that if you listen to how each person approached their sales, some brothers and sisters were very apprehensive. They were actually nervous or afraid. But when they found out that there was no resistance and how easy it was, then it gave them more encouragement to sell more. One sister said she sold, the first people she had sold right out. She had to rush back to the building and get more. And I pray Allah that this is the same kind of spirit that's going on across the country, because each one of us represents ambassadors for the products across America. And as that, imagine this happening in 83 cities across America, that someone is out meeting people. And that's the greatest public relations job you can do. It beats all of the advertisement that you could possibly do, that one-on-one contact. So that was very good. And then the second part of the discussion, I think, was excellent, at least in the groups that I was in. And one thing that I learned upstairs that was good tonight, and maybe if you're not doing this in the other groups, and maybe you are, as I said, this is my first meeting, was that in the study group that Brother Wazir is the study group leader, one brother would read the verse in the Yusuf Ali Quran and one in the Maulana Muhammad Ali. Now, my personal preference is that the Maulana Muhammad Ali has a better command of the English, because Yusuf Ali uses a lot of old English terms. And even though he had the benefit when he did his translation in 1932, he had the benefit of the Muhammad Ali translation that came out in 1917. But yet and still his English is old English. But if you want to get a good feel of the verse, especially when it was talking about Abraham, if you read both of them, you could really get a feel of what Abraham was doing. So it shows you that the Arabic language, some words are not the same in English, but the translator has to be descriptive enough to describe what is being said in Arabic. And when you get those two translations together, you get a better feel of what was going on. So in your group, are you doing that in your groups? I guess not. Is everybody just reading the Maulana Muhammad Ali? Both of them. Because if you let someone read, if you're sitting in a group, and if you read it in both, they did an excellent job upstairs, reading both the Yusuf Ali and the Maulana Muhammad Ali. And then another thing I noticed, that before you move, you always make sure that that point is tied down. Don't leave it up in the air. Tie the point down and then move on to the next point. Because there may be, if one person in the group said, no, I don't understand it, then as the study group leader, your job is not to teach, but maybe someone in the group can talk. Now, a couple of groups, I saw the study group leaders, they were teaching hard. I mean, they were teaching, and the minister wants you like the traffic controller. You keep traffic moving. And if it gets a little off track, being that you're having special sessions with the minister, you can put it back on track. But your job is to keep the traffic moving and not teach. And I know that all of you are great teachers waiting for this opportunity to get out there and teach. But here you are helping the others to develop. I'm talking to the study group leaders. And as Brother Farrakhan, I was not here Monday night, but I definitely heard about it. He said that all of us got a job to do. And what you have to realize is that this word is so powerful, the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and it moves people, and we have a whole country of people to move. So don't worry, you have an opportunity to teach. And these study sessions really bring out, they help you to get used to talking, because some of you have never talked in a group before. And we're like in a workshop with one another. And it will help you as you talk to one another in this circle, then you can talk to people outside of the circle. So we thank Brother Farrakhan for giving us these sessions. And you have to make a sacrifice to be out here on Friday night. I know you work all day, and sometimes the path of the least resistance, overcoming difficulty, is to go home and get in that bed. Or go home and put your feet under that table, eat that meal, and fall asleep looking at television. That's the path of the least resistance. But what you got to do is struggle this uphill battle and say, I got to go out to my class tonight because I'm growing and developing and understanding the teachings of Islam. So, brothers and sisters, I want to thank Brother Farrakhan very much. He's coming down now to speak to you before we close out the session. I want to say every Friday night we must make a sacrifice. And anything that you want in life, you have to sacrifice. I learned a long time ago when we were in New York that leadership means a sacrifice. On Friday night, people who don't feel that they have anything to do, what they'll do is go to a card game or to a movie. But if we represent the leadership of black people in America, bringing them to the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, this divine call, disciplining their life, setting a goal and a course that will change the history of our people in America, then you have to make a sacrifice. And when I was young in Islam, there were other brothers, as we would move in the nation, who could go play basketball on a Friday night. But because of what we wanted to do to help our people who were in the mud of civilization, we had to make that sacrifice and go out and work. So this is what Friday nights means. We have to keep it jammed. We should build the attendance in here so that we'll have to even go into the power building, into classrooms, because we'll have so many brothers and sisters here on Friday night. So here's the minister here. And, I haven't seen him since he came off his fast. He looked so good when I saw him yesterday. He looked like he did. My wife said he looks like he looked in 1968. And that's the wisdom of God. Only God could have us looking like this. Let's bring on Brother Minister Farrakhan with a warm round of applause.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you. How did you enjoy your class tonight? Are you sure now? Is it going up? Or yeah? Going up? Not going up if you're not going up. Are you applying it to yourself? How many of you tonight want your money back for what you bought last week? You just had so much difficulty you couldn't overcome it, and I promise you to give you your money back. I will see that you get your money tonight. Did you bring the stuff back? How many brought it back? Come on, don't be ashamed now.
Don't be bashful.
Because I want to live up to my word.
There's somebody else there.
Yes? Oh. Nobody? How did you do? You did? Do you feel a little better about yourself after having gone to somebody that you probably didn't know and talked to them, and you found that some of them were very eager, weren't they? Some weren't, of course. Did you handle it well? Did anybody get cussed out? Yeah? No, seriously. If anybody got cussed out, there's the real test, how you handle somebody just rejecting you and saying, nigga, please, get out of here with that stuff. And if you come back, I got a shotgun and I'll blow. Well, how you handle that? Did you handle it? Tell me about it, sister. Stand up. I can't hear you. I want everyone else to hear. I'll repeat it.
crushed out, but there were some people who certainly disagreed with it. Like something to God or anything that said. And I thought you were talking about.
Oh, they disagreed. Or they disagree with what? Or with your answers. Oh, well, that's a difficulty too. Yes. Well, everybody's not going to agree with us. But we have to be able to handle that with intelligence. Very good. Very good. Well, brothers and sisters, you ready for this next difficulty factor? You ready? Bring them out, brother. I got an elephant that I want you to ride home tonight. No, I wasn't teasing. Oh, I thought a little laugh will get everybody going home in good spirit. No, here's what I want you to do this week. This is difficult. This is difficult. You ready? Sunday, I'm going to introduce the next study course. Next week's course is on the struggle to achieve balance in our lives. Okay? I have been, in a large measure, imbalanced. You know, in that sometimes you be all for God. And that's beautiful. But you got a duty to yourself. And you got a duty to your wife, to your husband, to your children, to your community. And wherever we fail in our duty, we're going to reap some repercussion or some consequence. So we want to be balanced, don't we? And it is a struggle in life to be balanced. This coming Sunday's lecture on this quest for balance, to introduce next Friday's study class. The difficulty factor that I want you to overcome is the Bears, the 49ers, and the Giants. No, wait now. I'm talking to these brothers. But it'll be difficult for me to be here Sunday myself. See, some sisters like the games too. But I'm going to be here, and we're going to get out early enough. So that if you want to see who win between the Giants and the 49ers, you can take care of that business after we take care of our business, but we got to achieve some balance. We can't involve ourselves in things that are trifling when we have things that are so serious confronting the black nation and ourselves individually at this time. Okay? Now, the Bears play on Saturday, so you can see that. But the difficulty factor is to bring yourself out here Sunday. But now the real difficulty is to get one of your friends to come away from that game and come here with you so we can talk about achieving some balance in our lives. Now, if that's a difficulty, I'm going to ask everyone here, to involve yourself in with me. I want you to bring a friend. If it's your mom, and mom said, listen, I'm not going down there with them crazy Muslims. See if you can get past mom's objection. I want to meet your mother. I want to meet your dad. I want to meet a member of your family that maybe you decide, oh, this nigga ain't going to hear nothing. But you can't decide on nobody. The very person you think will reject will be the one that will accept your invitation. Tell them, I'm going out to hear Minister Fargan. That crazy so-and-so, And no, he's not crazy. And have you ever heard him? No, I don't hear that nigga say, he's an anti-Semite. He did. Okay, tell him, look, you would be justified in saying that if you hear him for yourself. And I'm going to hear him and only be 1 hour. And then when we hear him, let's go and sit down and have something to eat and talk about him. And if he's what you say is, I'll never go back there again. I don't want you to lie to him. Don't use tricks to get him here. Look, the man is giving away money. I want you to use wisdom and truth and skill and overcome a no and make it a yes. Overcome a maybe and make it a yes. Now, if you can bring me some member of your family, I would be so happy, because you and your family have to get stronger. You know, your family, your personal family, that's the core of any success that we're going to have in life. The core of that success is our own family. And we do so much for everybody else's family. I think it's time that we concentrate and build our own family. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Now, don't put up an objection when my mother is a staunch Catholic, or she is a Jehovah's Witness, or my mother, I know she's going to cuss the minister out because she believes in such and so, and so you let her cuss me out. And I'll show you how to overcome difficulty. Because I'll win your mother. She ain't getting away from me. If you bring her Sunday, you got her for the rest of your life as a woman that will understand what you are about. Any member of your family that don't like the fact that you're a Muslim, you get them here to me on Sunday. I won't let them go till they bless your soul and mine. And look, I'm telling you the truth. And you still will get out in time to see the 49ers do something with them Giants, or vice versa. I'll let them out in an hour and we both will be blessed. They cannot resist this truth if it is put to them properly in the right spirit. We win our families. And it don't make any difference. They don't have to join. But they must have an appreciation of you, who have decided to give some of your time to this building and what goes on here. At least if your family says, child, I like what I heard, I ain't going to join, but I'm so glad I now understand what y'all is about. And if your mom or your dad, your husband, your wife, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your auntie, your uncle can say that, we have got one leg up on the trophy of winning our families. Okay? Lastly, I want to ask you, not ask you, but I want to say that whenever you take this study guide and you go over it, you will always find it reveals itself more and more to you. There's so much more in it. And if you notice when you read the Quran, the more you read it, the more you're beginning to see, wow, I missed that. I didn't know. Ooh, look at this. And you begin to find little jewels that you didn't even know was capable of being in a book. And it starts triggering all kinds of new thoughts and ideas in your brain. Now look, one of the things that we are lacking is family discussion. You see your wife, hi baby, hi honey, hey sugar, what's happening son, did you do your homework? You did? Good. don't bother me now. I'm looking at the football game. No, I'm sitting listening to my soaps. Now listen, you know not to talk to me while this one is on. In the old days when grandma and grandpa were alive, there was always a discussion because there always was a table that we sat down to eat a common dinner, not a pizza, maybe a pork chop, but certainly not a pizza. Now what I want us to do in 1987, we're going to build our families and build a home life that is valuable. Do you hear me? Yes, sir. Wise people don't party in the street. Wise people party in their homes. And if you got any friends that you can't bring home, you don't need those kind of friends. Do you hear me? Now, whatever your standard of living is, now, by the end of 87, by the grace of God, I want to see you living in a better apartment. And if you're in a better apartment, then you should move toward buying a home. But you must improve the condition and the quality of your life. You must improve the environment that feeds your mind, which starts in your home. All right? Now, here's the way we're going to build family. See, a family that prays together and the family that works together is the family that succeeds together. Now, look. Take this study guide, for instance. Where are my teenage Muslim brothers and sisters? Where are the teenagers? Am I the only teenager here tonight? Oh. Seriously, I mean, I want all the young teenagers. Would you come to the balcony so I can see you if you're up on the top floor? Just lean over. Just don't lean too hard because some of them are a little weak. I see some up in this balcony. Where's the teenagers? Behind me? Yes, sir. Okay. Now, this is valuable. These are our young people. You know, young people don't go to church. They don't like church. It seems like preachers, everything preachers do is for old folks. We don't never take time with our young people. But young people are able to grasp concepts that you may be struggling with. Their minds are free, and they want to be fed, but ain't nobody willing to feed them, or nobody know how to feed them, or got the right food to give them. Now look, I want you next time, next Friday, if it be the will of Allah, I want to bring the young people out. If you got them from 12 to 15, we're going to put them together in their own circle. Look. And you all, some of the younger ones still that are here, you handle your own circle. And see what you as a young mind can get out of it. I know that even being in a circle with older people, it's good for us to have you in our circle, young man. You know why? You help us to see a future perspective. By how you look at things, you help. Am I telling the truth? That's right. How many of you have benefited from the young ones being in the study group with you, listening to their perspective on these things? How many of you allowed them to talk in the first place? Do you allow them to speak? Come on, study group coordinator. Did you allow the young man to speak?
But if he was, of course I would. But I wanted to say that I didn't learn from the young person being in my study, but I learned a great deal from my children.
Yeah, you're a wise mother. Because they can teach us all something. And that's what I'm learning. The longer I live, I'm really learning that the youth have minds that are so fast that if we don't feed them properly, you understand, we lose a generation that can lead us where we need to go. So I want all the young to be brought out. Don't bring the 2, the 3. You know, please get a babysitter for them. But I'm talking, when you get 12 years old, where was Jesus at 12 years old? Was he seen in the temple confounding the wise? Was he 12 according to the book? Well, then 12-year-olds can say things and think things that we need to hear. Do you agree with that? Okay, would you bring them out next week? The young. But I want you all to take a night at home, at your dining room table. If you don't have a dining room table, if there ain't nothing in your kitchen but banana crates, it's all right to begin that way. But by the end of 87, if you still sitting in front of a banana crate, you don't need to come here no more. You need to go somewhere where you can get some benefit. And I don't want to see you no more anyway. If that's all you can get out of this is to be at a banana crate 1 year from today, if you're where you are now, I don't want to see you no more because you're a drag on me. And I think I got enough on me dragging me that I don't need you to drag me. Look, I'm serious. You got to better your condition. And if this don't help put some money in your pocket and better your condition, you don't need this no more. Walk away from it and be justified. Okay? So now you get around the table with your family. Your little daughters, if there's only one parent there, it's all right. One parent. Sit with this study guide with your children and hear what they have to say. Raise questions. See how their minds are going. And if you get them interested, oh, I got somebody. Honey, have you ever had a difficulty in school and a controversy? Well, what is the meaning of controversy, Mommy? Get the dictionary, baby, and look it up. Now you've helped them to gain and strengthen vocabulary just by looking up words that they don't understand that's in the guide. Look it up, sweetheart. What does it mean? And she read it out to you. Now call it back to me. Now if I use the word controversy, do you know what I'm talking about? Anyone else use it? You know what we're talking about? Yes. Have you ever been in a situation where there was a controversy in the school and you were the center of it and people had mixed feelings about you? They didn't like you, some liked you. How did you handle it? Then you get your children to talking about experiences that they don't even tell you and I about. And then you listen to how they handle it. You think you could handle it better? Well, yes, looking back at it, I could have handled it better. And tell me how you would have handled it better. Then you start sharing experiences, and before you know it, you're telling the child something about your life that the child will never know unless you tell them. And you know you have experiences, mothers and fathers, that your children don't know anything about, that would really make them love you more if they knew some of the trials and tribulations that you have gone through just to put some bread on their table or to do little things that when they were young and didn't know what it was all about. So you can tell them an experience in your life as they narrate one in theirs. And before you know it, you start getting in to each other. And your children will like to sit around the table and discuss. And then it will leave that. And then you say, now, son, part of our discussion is that we have to read the newspaper every day. So I'm going to buy a newspaper, and I want you to, let's talk about current events. So when we have dinner, what did you read in the newspaper today that you found of interest, son? Kennedys built a dynasty of political giants because they discussed the political issues of the day around the table with their children. One of the hottest times that we had in America, brothers and sisters, is when Jesse Jackson was running for president. There was talk around the table about that man and what that man represented. And after that was blown out, we probably haven't sat down and had a decent political discussion with our children about what's going on in the city council and why these molds are set up to embarrass black city councilmen and bribe them, and all is not what it appears to be. Have we sat down and discussed the thing that went on in New York with the killing of this young boy, run him over by an automobile, and why the attorneys did not want the young man to testify? And what do you think about it, son? And what do you think about it, daughter? And let's get their feelings and guide their development so that they don't develop negative attitudes about themselves as black people, about what's going on in the world where they can't function. You and I can take all of that out of them with good discussion at the dining room table, kitchen table, or whatever table, living room set, whatever. But the family has to have a night where you turn off that damn boob tube. Turn it off and stop for a night and say, look, no television. We're going to talk tonight. And me and you, husband and wife, we're going to talk. And we got to have something to talk about. No, don't mind me for saying damn. That, too, has damned your development.
That's right.
To damn means to stop. And it has effectively stopped the development of our processes of thought. We did better when there was no television.
That's right.
Because at least when you had a radio, you had to develop your imagination based on words. Now they give you a picture, and everything is so stupid and foolish, with the exception of Cosby and a few other. I mean, the man got a heck of a show. You know, and there are some valuable things on television, but there's so much junk. But I'm not asking you to turn it off all the time, just one night. And let's deal with each other. Will you do that? Yes, will you attempt that with the children? Yes, you will. Yes, to get them to sit down now, that's a difficulty factor. But you can overcome it, as long as there's food there. And it's wonderful to discuss pleasant subjects. Don't get in an argument while you're eating your food. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad used the dinner hour to do most of his effective teaching. It's wonderful when you're eating a bowl of soup and have people talk, and you reason with each other and pass the bread, and you teach good manners while you're sitting at that dinner table. And really what I'm anxious to do, sisters, I'm anxious to get you back to your homes. What? I'll say it again. And I'm not apologizing for what I said. I don't care what you do out in that world. If you don't have an effective home life, you have nothing. And you, sisters, are the cornerstone of the family. You're the cornerstone of the home. And I'm telling you, if I can come home, like I'm coming home now, and I can smell the bread, you know, that was baked. Oh, man. Soup. Oh, that soup. Oh, Lord. And a meal like that, you can talk all night, because, see, you don't eat all day. So with that one meal, I mean, it starts with a bowl of soup. And it's a healthy bowl. And after that bowl is moved away, then comes the salad. And we're still talking over the study matter. Then comes the main course. Good God from Zion. After you finish that main course, you move that away, then comes the dessert. You're still rapping on the subject matter. Then after you finish the dessert, then you get a fruit. Cut you an apple, orange, and you put the fruit down. Then you close off with your herb tea or a nice cup of well-made coffee. Say, oh, no, coffee's bad for you. Not the way we do it. This coffee will aid the digestive process. It takes the place of red wine and white wine. Good old well-made coffee. And we'll teach you how to make it where you drop an egg in it. And the egg will suck all that caffeine up out of it. And you get a smooth cup of coffee that just tickles the stomach as it goes down. Make you feel good. And then when you finish that kind of meal and that kind of conversation, brother and sister, your family starts coming together. And if we don't build families, we haven't built nothing. You agree?
Yes, sir.
Will I see you Sunday?
Yes, sir.
You coming with somebody from your family?
Yes, sir.
Brother said, I'll try. May Allah bless you. All right? If you can't get somebody from your family, any black person you see, that's your family. And what else? What else? What's the assignment? What? To do what now? Oh, you're reading Surah 55, chapter 55 of the Holy Quran in preparation for Sunday's lecture and for next Friday's study. And you're going to bring the children next Friday. I mean, they're 12 years old, 11, 12. They got something to say, and we need to hear from them. Huh? We have a 10-year-old in it?
Added some dimension to the question, who is we in the Holy Quran that's telling the truth? So it's 10 like that.
Well, when my son was 10, he asked me a question I couldn't answer. So I know that the 10-year-olds can think. And every study group coordinator, when you have young people in your study group, do not make the mistake of thinking that they cannot add immeasurably to that discussion. You extract it from them. That was a word that you all looked up the meaning of. You extract from them what they've come with. They may be a little timid, but you create an environment to make them know that they will be listened to and their words will be respected. Yes, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. I guess that's it. So I guess there's nothing else to be said? Oh, there's a menu. Who's eating? You are cordially invited to a Muslim dinner located 846 West 79th Street, 1 block west of McDonald's. Be sure to keep going past McDonald's. Don't stop in there again unless you just happen to need to use the bathroom. That's about all it's good for. On the menu is that good old Muslim bean soup, blue seas whiting fish sandwich on whole wheat bread, veggie burgers covered in onions, African fruit punch, original bean pie. Thank you, Brother Salim and Sister Celestine. So mean. Yes, okay. Thank you for a wonderful evening, brothers and sisters. Yes, sir. Wa alaikum salam.
Would we be able to produce a trial-size product, maybe 2 ounces in the near future, for samples to get to the customers to try the product?
Yes. Yes. Usually, the white folks put products on the market. You ain't never seen a trial size. And they put so much advertising on the television that you're almost forced to go and try it yourself. We do need a trial size, but you got to remember we're starting from a level, we don't have the kind of resources that those big white firms have. But I would hope that our people have enough confidence in us that we are not going to put an inferior product in their hands. And if you've tried the product, that's not an inferior product. All right. Would you agree?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. But that will be done. Yes, ma'am. Alaikum salam.
He's asking for bubble bath.
The sisters want the bubble bath. Anything y'all want. We aims to please, sister. Now that's an easy thing. It's an easy thing for our chemists to put that together. In fact, hopefully, we intend within the next few months to come out with the Power Plus, line of products, which deals with the cleaners, the cleaning products, dishwashing, powders, detergents, etc., 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 But I didn't think about that bubble bath. Yeah, we can get a bubble in the bath. Sure. This is the new Final Call newspaper just out, hot off the press. It'll be coming out every 2 weeks for 2 months. Then we're going weekly, and not W-E-A-K-L-Y, but weekly, W-E-E-K. Do you understand? Very good. So another difficulty for you to overcome. Just bend over and pick up a few and move on out with them and get them to our people. Thank you. May Allah bless you with a very prosperous, peaceful, progressive, harmonious, productive new year. And may He bless us to open our hearts for the increase of knowledge. And may He bless us with the will to practice that which we know, that we may get the benefit of what we know. Thank you. I think if you want to, let us have a short prayer, and then we can be dismissed. And I'd like to see my dentist for just a minute or two, if you will. Okay? You look so beautiful. Boy, you look beautiful. O Allah, guide us among those whom Thou hast guided aright. Preserve us among those whom Thou hast preserved. Befriend us among those whom Thou hast befriended. And bless us in whatsoever Thou dost grant us. Deliver us from the evil of what Thou hast judged. Surely Thou judgest, and none can judge against Thee. And he whom Thou befriends is not disgraced. Blessed art Thou, our Lord, and exalted be Thee above what they set up beside Thee. I bear witness that nothing deserves to be served or worshipped beside Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is His messenger. Ameen. Sisters and brothers, did any of you hear the radio program this morning? You did? Did you get a lot of static in it? No? Any favorable comments from your friends and people that listen on the job? Was it favorable? All praise is due to Allah. Thank you. Thank you.